to do, I want to try and get everybody into the mindset, and I want us to get into the marching as an army, in effect. So we're all thinking the same things, we're also working along the same lines each day. Now the enemy is going to be firing arrows at us of lies and deceit. I've put 6 down on there, which if we follow this through as a group, you know, we can do it individually at home, but each morning if every one of us gets up and prays against these things, we're going to see the difference. We are going to see the difference. Okay, we will see the difference very, very quickly. Now, it's not an exhaustive list, and effectively after this week, and even on Sunday, I've left a blank in there for everybody to put something in which is affecting them personally or affecting somebody you know. Okay? And you can put anything you want down on there, which you want to pray against, because the enemy's not going to stop at that. As soon as he sees that his fiery arrows and those sorts aren't getting through, then he's going to start throwing something else at us. And this is why we need to be alert all the time. Okay, so effectively those arrows are there for you to read through. So on Sunday, Monday through to Sunday, we'll be looking at a different one each day. Okay, and you may know people who are affected by it, you may have been affected by some of these yourselves, but we need to sort of pray against them, because I think these are things which are affecting people even today. A lot of them are actually taken from Colossians as well, as read through. They're things which are mentioned in there, which affected them back in those days as well, and they still come today. They're sort of really deep-seated arrows, which have obviously worked well over the years for Satan and his followers. So therefore, he's going to carry on using them. And if we're putting on this full armour, it's going to stop against that. Okay, so that's the breastplate. Next then. Now, I wasn't sure who we were going to get at the front of this bit, so unfortunately, we weren't able to get any special shoes, just in case they didn't fit. So we've gone the next step for this. Wrap-around shoes. Yeah, or tin foil, if you like. Okay, you have to stay still for this bit. Now, when you think of an item of clothing, shoes are probably one of the last things which spring to mind. I mean, you think sort of, you tend to think from the head down, or from the jumpers down as well. So I know that there is this sort of big shoe culture where sort of, I think it's going to come from a lot of TV programs where women like to go and buy shoes. That's this sort of alleged thing which sort of happens. But they're one of the most important things which we put on, because if we want to carry on our journey, we need to protect our feet. We need to be able to carry on moving. So therefore, the shoes are there for that. They look great. You really do. You should keep them. Okay, now, when I get a new pair of shoes, one of the first things I like to do is wear them in, make them more comfortable. And effectively, that's what we need to do. By putting on the armour every day, we're going to wear these shoes in, and we're going to sort of feel that they're sort of fitting quite right. Because when the battle comes, and when we start getting attacked spiritually, the shoes are already going to be there. They're going to be comfortable, and we're going to be able to fight the fight. If we don't keep putting them on, when it comes to the time, and you've got to hurriedly put these shoes on, they ain't going to feel right. They're not going to feel good. Okay, so you need to be putting these shoes on daily. Now, one of the things which, as I say, every day God was revealing something more and more to me, and when it sort of came to the Gospel of Peace Day, and the Shoes Day, one of the things which kept jumping into my mind was the Lord of the Dance. Remember that song? Yeah, I danced on a Friday when the world turned black. It's hard to dance with the devil on your back. They buried my body when they thought I was gone. Well, I am the dance, and the dance goes on. Now, the devil would like nothing better than to jump on our back and slow us down. Okay, that's a fact. Or make you stumble and fall. So going back to this you being friend thing. But I've got a bit of bad news for Satan, because these are dancing shoes. Amen. And the dance goes on, and on, and on, and on forever. We ain't going to fall down.
Amen.
Amen. I would dance, but they come off.
You can try it. They don't come off. Because that's
they come off.
Now, one of the other things which we've got to have peace in our hearts, and to have the gospel of peace as well. We've got to have forgiveness in our hearts. And if there's anyone that you're currently feeling animosity towards, I know we sort of turn around and say to people we love them early on, and that's a good thing to do. Okay, that is a good thing to do. It saves me a bit of time now, because that's what I was going to do there. So that's good. And no matter how hard you may feel, or how much resentment you've got for that other person, you need to forgive them Because as it says, our struggle is not against flesh and blood.
That's right.
Okay, so we're not there to sort of tackle other people. We're there to, to help, encourage. And if somebody's hurt you, then do you think that's them trying to hurt you, or do you think maybe they've fallen from one of these fiery arrows? They may be stumbling. So, a bit of encouragement, giving them the word of God, the righteous, breastplate of righteousness, that's going to help you to do that. Okay, and the shoes of the gospel of peace as well, they link in with that. There's that sort of old saying, to err is human, to forgive divine, which I've heard sort of many a time. But there's also an ancient Roman text which goes with that, and I can't do the Latin bit, so I'm not even going to try. But it roughly translates as to err is human, to persist is from the devil. And that is, the flip side of that. And effectively, we just need to remember that. People do make mistakes, but, it's not their fault. Okay? Everybody makes mistakes. And if we can be forgiving, then we're going to get blessed from that as well. Okay. The other thing which sort of struck me as well is we need to remove our old shoes because we've been walking around in them in a long time. The shoes of the world, we've been walking in those. So effectively, they need to be taken off and thrown away because they're broken and dirty. Which only leaves us then with the shoes of gospel of peace to wear. And they're the best shoes to wear because they're so comfortable, I can tell you. And they're dancing shoes. But before we put them on, there's one other thing which sort of really struck me on that, and that's, I was reminded of Jesus washing the feet of the disciples at the Passover feast. And it's I can picture him doing the same for us before we put these new shoes on. And it's every time we put them on, he's washing our feet because he's the servant king, and that just really sort of strikes chords. It just feels fantastic. But there's one other thing I wanted to mention with peace. I'm not sure if, Andrew, you've actually told this story before, but when I started reading through it, I was thinking, I can't actually remember the ending. So I'm going to tell it again. It's guaranteed there's probably other people who can't either. But there was a competition to find the perfect painting for peace. Not striking any bells? No?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. He can't even remember himself, but there we go. Long ago, basically, this guy wanted a picture of peace, and he set a competition for everybody to bring these paintings in, and thousands of people brought paintings, and they went through them all, and people were sort of unveiling them, and people were clapping, but this guy wasn't really sort of taking any of these in. It wasn't peace to him. So all these paintings were basically sort of, no, that's not the one I want. And it was down to the last two. And they were both unveiled, and the one of them was a picture of this nice little sort of calm brook with these sheep in a field and all these green lush fields around, and little white fluffy clouds up in the sky. And suddenly, and all the crowd thought, right, that is the winner. That is a perfect picture of peace. And then the other one is unveiled, and it was thunderclouds in the sky, getting ready to break out, with lightning. There was a cascading waterfall falling down, and it was breaking on all the rocks. And everybody was looking and just thinking, what's that all about? Well, when they looked closer, in the middle of this sort of roughness, there was this one tree in the middle. And at the top of this tree, there was a bird's nest. And there was a mother bird sitting in there with her eyes closed and her wing over the eggs. And that's what won it. And that to me, even in the storm of our life, the gospel of the Prince of Peace, he still brings stillness to us. Amongst that, and that is perfect peace, that is true peace. And it goes back to what I said earlier on, that, we can be sort of attacked all day long, but, he's still going to bring us that gospel of peace. He's going to still bring us peace. Okay, so we put on the shoes, and let's say that prayer, so you can all put on the shoes as well. Thank you for the peace you give me when I trust and follow you. Show me how to help others to find that peace. Show me how to help others to find that peace. Yeah? So again, it's going back to the Word of God, that we should reveal that to other people. Okay? Shield of faith is the next one.